And then he said, don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems, wish for more skills.
I can't catch a break, guys.
Yeah.
Get them the fuck away from me. I can't be around those guys.
People think, oh, well, cleaning your room, that's just a cliche. It's like, yeah, really, eh? Just go ahead and try it.
If people had any idea how powerful sleep is for healing from anything, and the fact that it's free.
My mind is absolutely bulletproof, solid as a rock.
Podcast.
All right, guys, welcome to another episode of the Fighting Fit Show. Today, I'm joined by Charmaine Matthews. Charmaine has been a member of Fighting Fit since the 1st of March, as far as I remember. And according to your latest stats, I seen you're doing over 2 stone in 10 weeks.
Yeah, around that, Stephen, yeah.
Yeah. So Charmaine, so for anybody maybe who doesn't know you as a member of Fighting Fit just yet, who is Charmaine, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm Charmaine, like you said. I live in Knockbridge. I'm a mammy to 2 kids, a single mom. So I stay at home mom, but that's really it, Stephen. I'm fairly boring.
No, amazing. Because again, we've a lot of mammies at Fighting Fit. And obviously, kind of myself, I'm a new dad. My first Father's Day the weekend. So having kids, it definitely does change a lot. Where kind of were you then? So if you only decided to join Fighting Fit, say in March, like what was your journey like? Where were you before you started Fighting Fit, or maybe what motivated you to kind of get stuck in and start a health and fitness program?
I was just, in a nutshell, Stephen, I was just desperately unhappy. You know, in every aspect. You think you don't realize how much it affects. You think it's just you, and you think it's just like, I can't do this, but you don't. It's only when you make a change you realize that it affects absolutely everything. You know, and I found myself unable to do simple tasks, you know, and everything. And then one day I messaged Sam. I didn't know anything about where she worked. She followed me on Instagram and I followed her. I didn't know her. And one day I just messaged her and I was just like, basically, without sounding dramatic, I was just like, can you help me? You know, and she was from day one, we just clicked. And since then, you know, I think she rang me the next day. I think she rang me about 3 times before I even answered the phone. And then I was all, I didn't see the call. Rubbish, you know what I mean? I just was so nervous. And then we just clicked from day one with her, and that was really it. That's how it all started for me.
Excellent. And then what was your experience like? Obviously, I know you and Sam have got a great relationship together now, kind of coach-client relationship, a bit of a friendship blossom there as well.
Yeah.
What has your experience, your just general Fighting Fit experience been like? And then obviously the nuance of, because you're signing up, you know, in a lockdown as well, so it was kind of all online as well.
Yeah.
What was that experience like?
Well, it was perfect for me, Stephen, because I was so self-conscious, I suppose. It was ideal for me to start on Zoom, you know, because I think it was daunting if I had to thought I was going in, like, even though everyone's so nice, you know, in your head, you're thinking, no, everyone's going to look at me. Everyone's going to say, why is she here? Like, which is rubbish. But so it worked out. I loved it, you know what I mean? And it was grand. They were at school and I get it done. And then, you know, and then I was in the gym last week. I started in with her last Friday, in again tomorrow. So that was brilliant. But it was time for me to go in, I think, at that stage. You know, I was glad to get in. Yeah.
So you built some kind of good foundation, some good habits online. It was nice and flexible for you, obviously being at home with the kids and stuff. And again, it saves you kind of driving in and out as well, which is going to save you 15-20 minutes each way.
Yeah, exactly.
So for a lot of people, the online really does represent a much more kind of flexible option. What has the change been like then? Because it's probably so fresh from the online workouts to the in-person workouts. Do you find them harder, different? What's it like?
Well, different, because we were doing a lot of weights, which obviously I can't do at home. But really enjoyed it, you know. I really liked it, so I did, because it's the same. It's the same when you start it, you're dreading it. I don't want to do this, and then when you're finished, you're delighted with yourself. Do you know what I mean? But I really did like it, and it's something for myself to do too, you know, on my own, because I'm running around every week. You know, you have a few years before you have that, Stephen, but it's something every night. You know what I mean? So it's nice just to have something for me too, you know.
Yeah, of course. I think a lot of us fall into that role. We put everybody ahead of us, and this whole concept, I think I shared on my Instagram yesterday, was this whole concept of, like, you know, filling up your own cup first, like how important self-care is, because when we take care of ourselves, we actually then have more to give the people that we love and the people that we care about.
Completely. completely. And it's a whole different mindset too. Like I would have been very much, I had a bad day, I'll start again next week, that kind of way. Whereas now I'm like, even if you have a completely terrible day, tomorrow's a new day. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's a whole new mindset, really is, like,
Yeah, and just to delve into that a little bit then, like in terms of kind of mindset and habits and this kind of stuff, like what kind of have the biggest changes or the most impactful changes that you've kind of made or implemented with Sam? What has maybe paid the most dividends for you?
Well, obviously the exercise. So I was doing basically nothing, to be honest. A little walk now and again, maybe with the dogs or whatever, but nothing too major. So then I built up a bit of fitness before, and then I done signed up for a challenge, the 10,000 steps a day in May. So we done that, and that was a godsend to me because I had to do it every day, and I was posting it up how many steps you did every day, and people were commenting, and people are great. People really are so supportive, even like when you go to the school every day and people be saying, "Oh, Charmaine, you're flying, you're doing great." And, and when you hear that, but apart from the exercise side, there was the eating too, it was the nutrition. I was like, I could go a whole day without eating something. And then just grabbing something in the evening. And then you're saying, why am I not losing weight? I'm not eating. But sure, you're not losing weight because you're not eating. Do you know what I mean? So it's a whole vicious cycle. It's just, like, I'm still learning, like, still very early on, like, for me. But, it's definitely helped me make better choices. Most definitely.
And I think it's just kind of as well, kind of having the structure of something to follow. Because I find was kind of one of the kind of the ruts people can find themselves in regards to nutrition is like not eating all day, and then because we allow ourselves to get so hungry, then we make bad decisions and we end up emotion-based eating, so we're not always making the best choices then when we do eat. Whereas if we kind of had a little bit more structure, because nutrition, again, there is a lot to it, and it kind of just depends like how deep do you want to go, but at the end of the day, like 3 square meals a day, trying to get protein in every meal, getting your fruit and veggies in, and trying to drink your 2 liters of water, and that kind of ticks most of the boxes for most people. But then so we've new nutrition habits, new workout routine, trying to get your 10,000 steps a day, and then another thing was just mentioned there with the 10,000 step challenge that you've done was this kind of accountability element, because you've kind of made this commitment.
Exactly.
What is it like then kind of having a coach, somebody who's going to check in on you as well? Kind of how important was that on your journey?
Yeah, I find it brilliant because it's like, if you think about doing something, then you're like, no, I have to kind of do it because you're not getting in trouble. That's not the right word, but you know what I mean? I do. Well, also it's like you're wasting my time, wasting her time, and wasting money too. I'm not, that I like, so I love that element of it because obviously I've tried, like I went Slimming World, all the usuals, but I think at this stage I just kind of needed structure. I didn't need the freedom to be able to eat. You can eat 10 of them, but just because you think you can eat 10 of them, you don't have to eat 10 of them. You know what I mean? Whereas I think now it's far better that I know it's calorie controlled, and like you can have that, Charmaine, if you want to have that, but on a Friday evening, if you want to have something with the kids, but just have maybe a smaller lunch or whatever instead of being, well, you're allowed to eat them. Why, you know what I mean? So I think I just needed, that's what I needed going forward, was a bit more structure, definitely.
And what is that kind of transition like, say, from maybe a more kind of old school kind of Slimming World mindset to kind of more just learning about calories and stuff? Do you find that, some people love counting calories, some people hate it. What is your experience like with kind of counting calories and kind of learning about energy balance and that kind of stuff?
Well, I'm still very much learning, like you said, but I suppose we never stop learning. But it's shocking, Stephen, to be honest, that I'm not coming on to blast any weight watch, people lose weight and that's fine. Yeah. But to think like these so-called free foods, and then you see a picture and it'll say like there's like 800 calories or something in these so-called free foods that you could supposedly eat as much as you want. It's like it really makes you question how it actually works in the long term, that kind of a way. But look, I can't talk about that like when I don't know full facts about them, but I prefer it. It's like definitely it's a structure that I need, my own personal journey now. It's definitely something that I need to lean towards.
Yeah. Yeah, and because I think the Slim World is great for a lot of people. I remember at one point, when I was kind of struggling my way back in the day, I think I went to a Slim World with my sister and kind of got the wee pack and the meal plans and all that kind of stuff. And I think Slim World is fantastic. I think they have helped a lot of people
completely,
over the years. I think from what I know about it, I think it's more so because it kind of gets people cook from scratch. They kind of try and cut out a lot of the processed food. There is a couple of maybe silly things I've heard, like, mashed bananas sins, but normal bananas no sins, or silly things like that don't really make sense. And from my perspective as a coach, like, we understand that calories is the global system. Calories are everywhere. Calories are in all the packets of all the foods in all the countries. So I just think it's a much better use of people's time to learn about calories than rather to learn about sins, because sins you're kind of locked into the Slim World system, whereas calories are everywhere, and it kind of really empowers you then long term to be able to make the best choices for yourself. But I do think one of the key pieces about Slim World that really makes it work so well is the weigh-ins. It's the kind of the group weigh-ins, having the weigh-in, the meetings and the groups, the accountability element that they offer. And I think that's a very important part of it, because that's one of the things that we do at Find Fit, not necessarily in a group, but kind of more one-on-one with your coach. You weigh in, your coach kind of checks your weigh-ins and kind of makes sure that you're making kind of good progress in reasonable time. If you're or maybe a little bit disheartened or maybe not sure if it's a good weigh-in, is it a bad weigh-in, or what the crack is, they can kind of give you some feedback and help you, I think most importantly, frame it in a way. Because sometimes if when the scales doesn't go down, maybe there was other victories that you had that week. They said maybe you're after training every day or every other day for a month, you're after getting your 10,000 steps or drinking your water. There's so much to the journey. Although it is simple in theory, it's much harder, as you know, to kind of implement in real life, to do the water, to do the meals, to do the workouts, to get everything done. Get the sleep in. There's so many things to take off every day. So that's kind of
right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm interrupting you, but I'm just going to say to you there, like, I would often, I know exactly what you mean, because like I would go to Slim World and think you had a great week, and then you might get on, and like, as a woman, your weight varies so much through the month, and you might get up and have 2 pound on, and it just, like, you just feel crap. You're like, how? You know what I mean? Yeah. Whereas that was like you said, it is great to have the weekly weigh-in but like you said, there's more to it. There's other goals, like your clothes fitting you better, fitness. Your fitness getting better, like, because my fitness was a 0. I started off like completely from nothing, like, so I can see it more with that kind of end, really.
Yeah, and it's the key is like, the coach's job really, I think, is like really to help people look for the wins. The people who celebrate the wins, the kind of Brandon has this kind of Wins Wednesday post in the members group and stuff. It's like so important that we learn or we train ourselves to look for the wins, or to always look for the silver line, or look for the positive. Although maybe our weight didn't go down this week, but it's like, what else can I celebrate? Because the people who celebrate these wins consistently are the people who stay motivated the longest. People who stay motivated are the longest, or the people who stay consistent the longest. And people who stay consistent are the people that get the best results. So it's just so important that we train ourselves to, like, say, if I'm not down on scales, it's like, right, let's get the measuring tape out. Maybe I've lost a couple of inches, or maybe my body fat's down, or have I hit any fitness goals this week, any habit-based goals, or is there anything that I can celebrate this week so that I don't feel like it's all a waste of time and I'm kind of just going to throw my hands in the air? Because it rarely is, unless, people are a little bit delusional and they're not doing the work, but they're expecting to get results. So it's like, you got to ask yourself, the first question is, am I actually doing the work? Do I deserve a good result? And if you deserve a good result, again, I'm pretty sure there would have to be something to celebrate. And again, when you learn to celebrate the small victories, it just makes the journey so much more sustainable and more enjoyable. Because if you're waiting till you lose the stone or the 2 stone or the 3 stone or whatever it is, like, you can be waiting a long time. And there's a lot of hard days in between the day 1 and day 90 or whatever it is until you achieve that,
Oh, of course, I completely agree with you. Yeah. Completely.
And in terms of kind of achievement stuff, what do you feel like? What are you most proud of, say, over your journey over the last couple of months?
Well, like, it sounds so minor, but it was like literally walking the children to school. Like, I live, like, a couple of the other members that live beside me, like, it's literally a 5-minute walk. And every day I'd be saying, right, we'll walk up now. And then I'd say, oh, fuck it, we'll jump in the car. It's like, you know what I mean? And then even the kids, the difference, they love it. One day I had an appointment with some poor, and I says, just please get in the car, we're going. I have to go to town. I have to be in town for 9:15. And they were like, oh, we don't want to. They love it, and like the looking around them, walking up, whatever. But it was like such a simple thing, but that was such a big thing for me. Just that was the start of it. Like, that's when I remember at the beginning when I was only getting that, I was getting about 3,000 steps a day or something, and I was delighted with that because I was getting that. So even the steps, just to getting the steps up and seeing the steps getting up is brilliant too. definitely a non-scale victory, I suppose.
Yeah, no, 100%. And it kind of, how do you feel like it has now? Kind of, you're living a kind of a fitter, more healthy lifestyle. Do you feel like is it having an impact on kind of your relationship with the kids and the things you're able to do together?
Most definitely, Stephen. Most definitely. Like, even like we have 2 dogs. Well, I have a dog, and then my partner has a dog. So, like, we, you know, I would find myself thinking of excuses nearly like from the Thursday or Friday as why I couldn't do these things at the weekend. You know, he'd be like, my partner Jerry would be saying, "Oh, will we go to such and such?" Like, and I'd say, "Oh, I don't know. You know, I don't think so. I have this, I have that." Like, you know, and your whole life was revolved around making excuses. Whereas now, like, we're all going so much places, like, and that's all kids want. You know, like, they don't want money spent, and they don't want to go, like, you know, when we went to Doonaree one day, and like my wee one said, like, "This is the best day ever, Mammy." You know what I mean? And it was just literally, we just took the dogs and walked around Doonaree. And, like, you know, just for hear horsing and getting them fitter too, you know, because kids can get lazy too, especially when they're that age, you know. So, yeah, but just little things. That's what I was saying to you previously. Like, you don't realise how much it affects others. You think it's just you. Like, you know, when I remember telling my mum that I had joined, and her saying, "Oh, Charmaine, thank God, because I was so worried about you." You know, and to hear her saying that, like, because, like, it's just me and my mum be very close. She'd be a great support to me, and to know, you know, no one wants their parents worrying about them, you know, it's like, but to hear her saying that, and then you, like, at first, of course, I felt guilty, and then I was like, what's the point in feeling guilty, Charmaine? You're doing something about it now, like, so then you, instead of feeling guilty, you make her feel proud, you know. So that was another big thing for me as well, because she wouldn't have obviously said, she's like, "I was afraid to say anything to you, and I just could see the situation getting worse and whatever." So, you know, that was a big thing too. And she said that to me, like, so.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. I'm sure she's super proud of you now, is she?
Oh, she is. She's delighted. We were out for a wee walk a few weeks ago, and I says, "Come on, we'll go another wee bit." And she says, "Jesus Christ, I never thought I'd see you today. You be the one saying we'll go another bit." She's like, "I'm booked. I'm going back." So I said, I'd be slagging her, saying, "Oh, I'll have to get you involved," you know. But so that was a big thing as well. And when you think, like, when the kids notice as well, like, you know, when they say things to you, like, "Oh, this is great fun that we're going here or we're going there," you know, because you really do think it only affects you.
It
really doesn't.
And it really does seem like that your kind of your confidence kind of is really kind of growing and flourishing. And what do you think, like, is the main reason for it? Obviously, it's kind of picking up all these little mini wins along the way, kind of stretching your comfort zone, having the support of a coach. What do you think is making the biggest difference that you're kind of really kind of trying to get out there now?
I think it's the whole package, Stephen, to be honest. It is like an awful lot, like, to do with the coach. Like, I get on so well with Sam, and I feel like I could talk to her, message her about anything, but it's the whole community, the Fighting Fit community. Like, it's such a support. Like, I remember when I posted up on it once, and I done a 5K walk that I never in a million years thought I would have done, and the comments was just the whole evening coming in, and I was literally, I'm not like an emotional person, but I was so overwhelmed. Like, the people were genuinely delighted, you know. And I'd be the same when I see people putting up stuff on the page. I'd be like, "Oh, look at so and so done," and she's like, my other half, she doesn't know these people. So he's like, "Oh, that's great," you know what I mean? But I'm like, not brilliant, you know. It's just the whole community. It's a community thing, isn't it? You know, it really is.
And that's something and that's something myself and the guys are kind of really looking forward to now. Is that now that we're back in person, obviously can we do our best to kind of cultivate community online, and the members group is a fantastic supportive place where, again, we really do attract the best people, I think. But looking forward to hopefully getting kind of some more kind of community events and stuff going, because we used to do that stuff very regularly before. So trying to get it maybe on hikes and hell and backs and different events and stuff to do. So fingers crossed we'll kind of get everybody, because we've a lot of new members that haven't really fully experienced that yet, and that's kind of one of the things that we're so excited for over the next couple of months as the kind of restrictions start to ease and we can kind of get out and do stuff together as well. So there's fingers crossed there'll be a lot of fun activities in the future.
Yeah, but even a few months ago, I wouldn't in a million years have done this, you know, because even when Aisling texted me, I was like, "Oh, I don't know," because I'm so self-conscious, I'm shy, you know, and like I'd be laughing because my friends would be saying, "Shy, my eye," you know, but I like, and then eventually I just texted her, and I was like, because I had said to myself, well, why do people want to listen to me? Like, because I'm still a lot at the beginning of my journey, I suppose. And then I thought about it, and I was like, well, for everyone that's also on the beginning of their journey, it'll help them, I suppose. So that's why I was like, listen, I'll say yeah now before I change my mind. Lock it in now. But I would have never, and not in a million years would I have even dreamt of it, you know.
Yeah,
so
that's
even
amazing.
things
Again,
like that.
yeah, and it's so cool because again, it genuinely will inspire people. You know, but there will be people who are at the start of the journey and they'll be looking at this. But it said, because we all know getting started is the hardest part. Like the hardest part now is behind you. It's kind of like this guy. Did you ever see the guy pushing the big boulder? Getting the boulder moving is the hardest part. Once the ball's rolling, once the train is moving, it's much easier to keep it going. And this is kind of why I feel like a lot of people maybe fell off track during the lockdowns because they maybe just lost so much momentum. They might have had a really good maybe health and fitness or nutrition routine going. And then once kind of the train stops, it really does take a lot of effort and energy to kind of get it going again. But again, once the wheels are turning now, you know, it's just a matter of just keep showing up, keep checking in. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just do your best. Some days will be better than others, but just keep showing up and keep putting one foot in front of the other.
Completely agree. And also, like, for people in the same boat as myself with small kids, and you know that just you can make the time to do it, you know, because like if it's not children, it's dogs. There's always someone, you know. I often I'd be doing the PT on the Zoom and there'd be a dog coming over bloody licking your face or something, and I'd be saying get off. But you know, it's just you can just make the time, you know. It is possible to do it, you know. Definitely is.
And it doesn't have to be perfect, as people said. Like, you know, like a workout with a dog licking your face is better than no workout at all. So kind of just get something done.
Yeah, exactly. You know, just push the bloody dog away, and the dog, even the dog doesn't know what's going on. He's like, "Why is mommy lying on the ground?" So, so it's all that. Really is.
And then, so what do you think is next? So, kind of, you said you're kind of the start of this journey now. Kind of, what do you see? Like, what does the next couple of months look like? Like, where do you hope to be maybe by the end of the year? Any big goals? Any new habits? What's coming next?
Well, I do. Like, I don't. Like I said to you, I'm not that I'm not focused on the weight. I'm not solely focused on the weight, you know. But I do want to get a good bit of weight off. So I have 30 pounds off now, 2 pound over the 2 stone. So. Ideally, I would like to have maybe 5 stone by Christmas. So that's given me 6 months to get 3 more off. Like, you know, I could have more, but I would be more than happy to start a new year with 5 stone lighter than I was the year before. You know, that would, So, like, please God, that's the way it'll go. You know.
Excellent. And then what do you want to do with that then? So say we lose the weight, like what does your lifestyle look like? Any new activities, any new hobbies, anything that you're maybe looking to add to your life as well? Because I feel like a lot of times we can get stuck and we're kind of always thinking about what are we losing, but in terms of like what am I gaining in terms of kind of strength, energy, confidence, all that kind of good stuff as well. If you did lose the 5 stone, like what would you do maybe next year that you wouldn't have even thought of doing this year?
Just basically things that people take for granted, Stephen, you know, that just like to go on holidays and not have to get worry about a seatbelt going over you on the plane, you know, like, you know, I know it's a situation you do really create yourself, for people that have never had a lot of weight on, that don't realize these things. Like I'd be thinking about this like from a week before you got on the plane, saying, well, oh God, I hope I don't have to ask for, you know, the extension for the belt. And then just not making excuses in life for not doing things that I want to do, if that makes sense. Just being able to, you know, throw the kids in the car, take them over to Doonary, for example, and take them for a walk. Just a whole new outlook on life. You know, I do, I don't work outside the house, but I do the Girl Guides, the Brownies in Knockbridge.
Amazing.
I'm the leader of the Brownies. So my girls, they're 7 to 11, so that we don't do a whole big lot of outdoor activities, but the guides do. But I would never go with them simply because I wouldn't have been fit. So, you know, and my wee one, Ellen, is actually going up to guides in September, please God. So I would love to be able to go the odd time with them on a wee hike or a wee whatever, and just not be worrying about it for a month beforehand, saying, oh, what'll I do if I get tired? What'll I do if I, you know what I mean? So just things, just getting my life back in a nutshell.
Amazing. Start looking at really living life to the fullest and be able to say yes to the things that you want to say yes to.
Exactly. Just buying your clothes in a you know, I actually said that to Sam last week. You know, I just had a t-shirt on me last week that I bought in Dunn's. Like, that was a big thing for me, because I never, you know, I would have been buying them like New Look or Boohoo, whatever, where you get the bigger sizes. Like, just to buy a t-shirt in Dunn's, you know, something that people yourself, anyone wouldn't pass any heed of, you know.
Yeah.
So just little things like that, you know,
Yeah.
and just a whole new life, basically.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, listen, congratulations, generally, you know, on everything you've achieved so far. I know, kind of from talking to Sam, you know, she really does have nothing but praise for you. You know, you have been really, really consistent, a great member. And again, we still have an exciting journey ahead of us. So, you know, we are very proud to be part of your journey.
Thanks so much.
If we can do absolutely anything at all to help you, feel free to reach out. And anybody who's listening to this, if you have any questions, comments, you know, leave them below. I'm sure Charmaine will be checking them out, and she'll answer any of your questions if anybody does.
Yeah.
Or if you've been inspired by anything she said, you know, feel free to reach out. Check out our website, findfoundation.com, and I said, if we've inspired you to get started, I said, this is what we do. We would love to help you. And we leave it there, I think.
Brilliant. Yeah, that's really that. I don't think I have anything else to add to that. Just everybody's fantastic in it, but just Sam, she's just been such a great help to me. You know, I like, since I sent her that, I just sent her a message. Like I said to you, I didn't know she was in the gym. I knew she was a trainer of some sort, and I just sent her the message. You know, and then I just all went from there. You know, so that's my.
What was it about Sam? Because obviously, you know, Instagram is full of trainers or trainers ever. What was it about Sam that kind of maybe made her stand out to you and kind of gave you the confidence to reach out?
I think it was just the fact that she was following me on Instagram and I was following her, and I'd be looking at her posts and then she'd be liking my posts or whatever, but we didn't know each other. It was just I just thought it was just a random, you know, Instagram follow, whatever. And then I just looked, I don't know why even, and I just knew that she was I knew she was local. And then I just sent her the message, and I still have the message there. Like, I just said, listen, basically, I just need help. You know what I mean? I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do, and can you help me? And then basically, I suppose that's went from there. Yeah,
that was the start of a new journey and start of a new friendship.
Yeah, exactly, Stephen.
Amazing. Well, Charmaine, listen, I really appreciate you taking the time to chat with us. And I said, I'll see you during the week down at the gym.
You will indeed. Thanks very much for everything, Stephen.
Yeah, you're very welcome, Charmaine. Been a pleasure. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.